Bad news for the government of China on Tuesday. New figures showing that the gap between rural workers and city dwellers reached its widest point last year since 1978, the year of China's economic reform and opening debut. That, despite years of government efforts to control the disparities.
The National People's Congress is moving quickly to address this issue because there's a social stability concern for the Communist Party.
Welcome to Dispatch. I'm Marla Dial. The concerns of China's rural poor are often a centerpiece in the annual National People's Congress session. This year's meeting, which begins March the 5th, will be no exception. Earlier this week, during a 2-hour question and answer session on the internet, Premier Wen Jiabao touched on key issues to be debated.
Premier Wen called out a number of things that are being discussed, but I'd say at the very top was hukou reform. Hukou is the residential registration system, and that's why the urban-rural divide legally in China is so stark, because urban citizens have an urban registration, whereas rural ones do not. And that urban registration enables them to access public services that make life easier for them and enable them to spend more of their income on things that they want. Whereas rural citizens are deprived of those benefits, especially those rural migrants who have traveled into the cities, of which there are about 150 to 190 million. And at the same time, the housing costs are going up dramatically with all of the credit that's in the system, and that too is wearing on people's pocketbooks.
The NPC also will tackle issues such as China's pro-growth monetary policy and inflation concerns, as well as its rocky relations with the U.S. But Wen's core message seems geared toward managing expectations of what can be achieved in the near term.
Premier Wen is concerned about the fact that there's a lot to be done in China with the economy growing rapidly and rebalancing necessary, and yet he only has 2 years in office. He and President Hu Jintao will be shifted out of the leadership role in 2012, and this is a very uncertain transition for the Communist Party, and it's one that will have to be handled delicately in the approach. And at the same time, of course, 2 years is not a lot of time to do massive reforms.